On the go? So are we. Get the IBJ Media app, your all-in-one news source for Indiana business news. Get breaking news alerts, read every story from IBJ, Inside Indiana Business, and the Indiana Lawyer, and listen to your favorite podcasts all in one place. Big news, small screen. Search IBJ Media and download the app today.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of Wednesday, April 8th, 2026. I'm Alex Brown. In November, Diamond Pet Foods' new manufacturing and distribution facility in Rushville went online and began producing pet food for customers throughout the Midwest. Vice President of Manufacturing Mark Schell says the facility remains in the startup phase but is primed for growth.
There's a lot of things going on there, like a lot of training, just a lot of, getting the plant up to its full capacity. And anytime you bring a new facility online, there's some stress that goes along with it too. But things have gone really well, and we're very, very pleased with where we're at.
Today, the site employs nearly 200 people, and in the next several years, that number could climb to around 300. A Pennsylvania-based convenience store chain announced today that it plans to spend nearly $1 billion to develop 100 stores across Indiana by 2036. Sheetz, which operates 830 stores across 7 states, said it plans to open its first Indiana locations next year in the greater Indianapolis area, though it did not disclose specific sites for those stores. The University of Notre Dame's College of Arts and Letters is launching the Human Neuroimaging Center, a new research hub aimed at studying how brain networks shape human intelligence, health, and behavior. The center will be led by psychology professor Aaron Barbie, who joined Notre Dame last fall. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Thanks for listening to this IBJ Media podcast. You're probably going to remember this ad. Do you know why? Podcast advertising works. 85% of listeners recalled hearing an ad during a podcast, and 70% of podcast listeners have acted after hearing an ad. So whether you're looking to be heard across the entire IBJ Media podcast network, sponsor one of our shows, or just start with a 30-second ad, IBJ Media can help. Contact advertise@ibj.com to learn more.
A wave of indoor golf investment is shaping the South Bend-Elkhart region, with operators betting on sharply different business models to capture demand beyond the traditional golf season. Swing Masters Pro Golf opened in Middlebury in August 2024. NetPar launched its Mishawaka location last December, and T365, a 24/7 access facility, is targeting a Labor Day opening near the University of Notre Dame. Dogleg Social, a hybrid indoor-outdoor concept, is scheduled to open next year in the Juday Creek Business Park near the Mishawaka Fieldhouse. Indoor Golf Alliance Executive Director Phil Immordino says there is a particular factor driving the success of indoor golf.
I think the big thing that drives indoor golf is one word. It's called data. When a golfer is able to see the data of their swing and what it's going to take to improve, that enhances the experience, and they want more of it.
Indoor Golf Alliance puts the global simulator market at roughly $1.74 billion in 2024, with growth toward $2.9 billion projected by 2030. A vendor at Union Street Market in the Electric Works Mixed-Use Innovation District near downtown Fort Wayne is out, and the search is on for a replacement. The vendor, 3PO, operated the Crane Bar, Neon Bar, and gift shop in addition to providing operational support for the food hall. In a statement provided to Inside Indiana Business, Union Street Market leadership said a vendor change was necessary to provide the best experience for visitors, tenants, and merchants, though a specific reason for 3PO being ousted was not given. A new service provider is expected to be selected soon. A manufacturer of recycled outdoor living products headquartered in Kosciuszko County is promoting from within for its next chief executive. Syracuse-based Pollywood announced today that Chief Operating Officer Brady Maller will become CEO, succeeding founder Doug Rassi, who is retiring after more than 25 years leading the company.
Doug and I have really just been a great partnership. It's exciting to move into that role. It's one that I feel like I've been very well prepped for. One that isn't a here you go, good luck, as much as, I'd say the succession has been a decade into working.
Maller will begin his new role May 1st. Indiana's storied basketball history is the subject of this week's Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now on the IBJ Media app or your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio On Demand. Stay ahead with Inside Indiana Business Radio On Demand, your go-to source for the latest business news across the Hoosier State. Join hosts Gary Dick and Alex Brown every weekday morning and afternoon for concise updates on Indiana's top business stories. Subscribe now on your favorite podcast app or listen at ibjpodcasts.com.
The IBJ Media Podcast Network is the soundtrack of a growing state. Indiana is on the move, and you can hear it happening on the IBJ Media Podcast Network. We bring you the voices at the center of our economy, our courts, our companies, and our communities. Subscribe now and be part of the conversation that's building Indiana's future. Find all of our shows by searching IBJ Media in your podcast app or visit ibjpodcasts.com.